going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another great episode of the Entire Empire, where we can't wait to talk about pro ball and Empire State. We want to say thank you so much to all of our viewers, our subscribers, and everybody who catches us live on YouTube. And make sure you go to all platforms where you can catch your podcast, and you'll find us there, The Entire Empire. Listen, before I get started, I got to introduce my co-host. First of all, he got something on today, so I'm going to do this, right? Remember this one? Top bowler in every state. In Chi, I'm Mike. In Boston, I'm Kenny. Miami, I'm Timmy. In Phoenix, I'm Penny. Ladies and gentlemen, our special NBA analyst, Coach Kenny Anderson. Say what's up to him, Coach.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
And my
I just did that. I wore this for DC. I just switched it up on him. I just wanted to switch it up. But we'll talk.
Shit on?
Yeah, we'll talk. We'll talk.
Oh, man.
I just did it.
Oh,
Ain't
man.
y'all in the tournament? Ain't G-Tech in the tournament?
Yeah, we are. We
ain't
made
got no
it.
G-Tech shit on, you know what I'm saying? Let me put on, hey, baby, bring me that orange hoodie.
Hey.
Speaking of orange, man, we're going to say what's up to my player partner, my co-host, my co-founder, Kev P. Say what's up to the people, bro.
What's going on, everybody? I'm happy to be here, man.
And ladies and gentlemen,
yeah.
let's understand this. Let's be clear. We are talking about basketball royalty. We are talking about a legendary Syracuse Orangeman. We are talking about an NBA great. Honestly, he was one of the most prolific basketball big men in the 90s. When it came to that block, he got you. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from wherever he's at, Mr. Derek Coleman.
What's going on, baby? What's happening? How y'all doing, man?
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Kev P, let's talk basketball tonight, bro. What's going on?
All right, I flipped the coin and I landed on the Knicks this time. We're going to start off with them and give them a little bit of love early today. I want to start off quickly.
Wait a minute.
There's a reason, because you guys get the grand finale. Let them get them out the way. This is your opener.
Okay, all right.
You know what I'm saying?
We're going to talk next.
These are the openers.
We're going to talk next.
Yes, sir. So with the Knicks, we're going to start off with quickly. He has started the last few games, and he's played very well, actually. However, he's injured, and the Knicks' depth at point guard is nowhere to be found. How does Tibbs make this work? Because he's out with a sore ankle. Elfrid Payton is out with strained right hamstring. Derrick Rose has to do his health and safety protocols. And Austin Rivers, they're not saying what it is, just personal issues have him sidelined. So they're looking real skimpy right now. How does Tibbs make this work?
DC, come on, talk. I'll let you start it off.
I don't know what happened to me, man. It kicked me out for a minute. You got to talking about the Knicks, you know what I'm saying? It unplugged me.
Yeah. Nah.
I'll jump it off, Kev.
Okay.
I think this right now, the Knicks got to find themselves. They got to do a lot of soul searching. You know, right now they're still fighting for a solid playoff spot. So with injuries, and let's be clear, with these two NBA legends that we have on right now, injuries is part of the game.
Yeah.
It's the fortitude that you got to do to push through it. And the Knicks are young. So I think right now it's a real serious gut check. Tibbs being the veteran coach that he is, and Coach always, talks about Coach Tibbs, and he is a dynamic basketball mind. Yeah. Let's make no mistake about it. However, it's definitely going to be a punch in the stomach and figure out where they at, man, where they hard at. It's a hard check for them. It definitely is.
Yeah. Well, you see all the changes and everything that's going on with New York. So anytime you see change all the way from the front office to, the team, to the kids, to the players, man, you're going to have some peaks and valleys in the game of basketball. One thing I like about Coach Tibbs is that, he always preaches defense. No matter where he's been, he's always had that defensive mentality. As you well know, man, defense wins championships. So it's going to be a struggle for them, right now without having a really true, point guard. But again, just got to fight through. Season's coming to an end. Got to see, can you really get, to that playoff spot, man, try to make a run in the playoff just to make New York back relevant. You've been so just, distant for so many years. So, you just got to get back to the playoffs.
Yep.
That's right. Coach, you got anything to add to that?
With the Knicks, is just Tibbs is a great defensive coach, but they got to bring some, some great intensity, because they haven't been, the Knicks in the beginning of the season. Now they're getting in the thick of things in the season right now.
Right.
So they're gonna have to, come to play. But and I think they're young, so the maturity has to get in. They have to really perform the defensive. They're gonna do that. They're gonna play hard. They're going to play hard, but offensively, I don't think they have enough power offensively.
Absolutely. I agree with you, Coach. I think as of right now, really what they're going to have to do, and there's really no way around it, they're just going to have to grind this out until a couple of those guys return. Derrick Rose, like you said, that's health and safety protocol, and I'm hoping quickly is nothing big. So they're just going to have to grind it out, though. Alec Burks in there and play slow ball up until they get everybody back. That's really just the gist of it right there. Moving on, Lonzo Ball will strongly consider joining the New York Knicks as a free agent this summer. How good of a look is that, and what moves need to be made to accommodate him? Because there's still a very good chance he could get traded before the trading deadline, which is right around the corner on the 25th. What needs to be done here, Coach?
That's a good pickup if they get him, for New York. But I'm not sure with the monies and the trade and all that. I haven't really gotten to the depths of it, but Alonzo Ball would be a great pickup for the New York Knicks. I really believe that for the future of the point guard position, because he's shooting. What I like about him as right now, he's shooting the ball extremely well from the 3-point line, and he's able to pass the ball. He sees the court very well, and he's young, and he'll be a blessing for the Knicks if they could get him.
DC, you got anything to add on that?
I mean, just what Kenny said, just me sitting around and watching him play, I love the way he plays the game, basketball. And we just sitting here talking about point guards. I mean, that would be a perfect fit, for him in New York if they can really work out the trade. But I love him just watching him in Charlotte, So it'll be interesting to see.
That's his brother.
That's his brother.
Well, he's in New Orleans.
We talking about
New Orleans.
Both of them is pretty good.
You got so many of them.
Yo, Mr.
You talking about his brother in New Orleans? What is it, Lonzo?
Yeah,
Lonzo. Yeah,
Lonzo. What's the other one name?
LaMelo.
Yeah, Melo. That's what I'm thinking, Melo. But Lonzo, yeah. Well,
listen, he's come a long way with that jump shot. I got to get his man credit because he used to throw it from over the shoulder. He's fixed that. Yeah, he's lining it up a lot better, and he sees the court very well. And I think he fits in perfectly with how Tibbs coaches because he's very defensive-minded for a point guard.
Yeah.
So I think he works well. TJ.
I'm gonna let Mr. Coleman finish his point. I think he wasn't done real quick. I think he.
I was just saying that they have another guard down there in New Orleans with him. From that they traded from Milwaukee,
right?
So when you got two point guards who actually used to dominating the basketball, all the time, it's hard for you to even play them together, at a point in period of time out there. But I think with New York is really looking to get him. One thing we do know, he passed the basketball. He's very unselfish in what you're doing. What Kenny said earlier, that he's shooting it very well, right now. So, I mean, I think that'd be a great trade for him to bring him to New York because New York is really looking for a point guard.
All right. Go ahead, T.
I think New York would benefit from Lonzo. Lonzo is a big personality, even though he's quiet. I think his pop's got a bigger personality that would fit New York rather than, what I'm saying? But I think Tibbs would definitely coach him, and we would see another layer of his game begin to evolve if he would go to New York. And not to say nothing against Coach Stan Van Gundy. Stan Van Gundy is another basketball mom. And you know what the crazy thing is? I look at the layout of what's going on in New Orleans. It looks like y'all. You got a great point guard and up and coming, and Lonzo Ball. You got a dominant big man in Zion Williamson, yourself, Mr. Coleman. So if they could keep that. And y'all had an athletic wing player by the name of Chris Morris. Y'all remember that guy? And absolutely. So, and then they got a guy by the name of Brandon Ingram. So they got a lot right there in New Orleans.
Brandon Ingram.
Yeah. So if you be able to swing something like that, New York would definitely benefit. But I also would like him to stay in New Orleans myself, just being a basketball fan.
Yeah. Now, if you can keep that threesome together, I mean, like you said, that's a great look for them. Yeah. And like I said, Bledsoe is down there too. So he's a hell of a player. I think I see him when I'm watching the game. He's not playing like he was playing in Milwaukee. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't taking charge.
Right.
And I just look at that as really trying to figure it out. How do you fit into the equation?
Yeah, definitely.
Good point.
Agreed. Now TJ alluded to the wonderful three guys you had down in New Jersey back in the day. So I'm going to tie that into the previous game, well, not the previous, but a couple games back with the Knicks and the Nets when they met up recently. And Randall showed a whole lot of frustration at the end of that game with that call. Now, I'm going to let y'all speak on it for a minute, and then I'm going to give my take on it, because I remember some things back in the day from when we used to play. It went totally different. So, Coach, I'm going to let you run with that. Randall's little temper tantrum at that last call of the game.
Yeah, he had a reason to go off like that.
The ref missed it. The ref missed it.
The ref missed the call.
The ref missed
basketball.
Let's start there.
Basketball. It's basketball.
Basketball.
He's going to go off. He's going to go off, and so be it. So be it.
Right.
That's his life. Back in the days, and they would be like, oh, they wouldn't even have covered it. They would have been like, he just went off, and that was it. Yeah, move on. But he went off for a good reason. DC, right?
Okay.
Right or wrong?
Yeah. But I mean, just like you say, man, referee's not gonna see and catch everything.
Yes.
I think one of the things is with the referees that we were playing, even if they made a mistake, right, they will always come back on the floor and be like, you know what, you're right.
Yes.
I missed that call. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know, when you're playing the heat of battle, everybody wants to win.
Yep.
So, you know, temper player, you know, when you out there on the court, shit, me and Kenny get in arguments in the middle of the game, but you know, we just want to win.
Yeah,
you know, it's not personal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey man, you gonna get your ass over there, pick the roll, how you want to do it? Hey man, you got a hand. You ain't hedging it though. All right, motherfucker, go under there.
Yo, we used to get into it a little bit.
Right.
We used to get into it. You absolutely correct. You were absolutely correct.
Man, we're making adjustments and we're trying to win. That's the bottom line, bro. Yeah.
And then after the game, my
bad.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's how it's supposed to be.
Exactly. That's how it's supposed to be, man. So yeah, I mean, he missed a call, and okay, yeah, I'm mad about it, but life goes on.
Yep.
Word. Here's my thing about it, and I'm gonna take y'all back to some schoolyard basketball playing days, because I remember when we used to do that. If somebody took that swipe at the ball, unless they kept their hand in on your way up, and that's exactly what happened. He swiped it, he tipped the ball. You got to drop that. He literally came back down with the ball. Yeah. I actually don't think that's a missed call. That's the appropriate call. You were supposed to drop that and go back up. He came back down with it. That's travel. It is what it is. Now, they didn't make that call either. They just let it go. Yeah. No, so they just let it go. So if anything, it should have been a travel.
Okay, so I'll take that one, but they got to make one of them, and that
they got to make one of the calls.
They got to make one of the calls.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing. I'm sitting there going like, dude, you didn't drop it. So either way, you were in the wrong. You got to let that go.
Right. And the referee didn't make either one.
Yeah, the ref dropped the ball on that one, so to speak. So now we're going to move on to the headliner. This is what we've all been waiting for. We're going to talk about the Nets. The Heat are interested in acquiring Spencer Dinwiddie. Should the Nets deal him, and if so, for who? TJ, you take this one.
Spencer Dinwiddie right now is still inactive. So right now, anything that you get is a plus. So we know probably Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, and maybe Jimmy Buckets is off the table. I don't know who else you ever want after that. I mean, Bam Adebayo probably is not going to be a piece. So I don't know why. The Brooklyn Nets would make that decision. I don't know why you would let Dinwiddie just go off the table. We've already talked. Coach and I have said this earlier in the season that you already let Karis LeVert go out the door. Don't let Spencer Dinwiddie go out the door too. And even though he's inactive and not healthy, this season, he's going to come back next year. And James and KD, Kyrie's going to be back next year. And you need that powerful player in that second unit. These two gentlemen playing right now know how valuable a second unit can be. Listen, in the course of an 82-game season, if that second unit ain't playing strong, that means more lag on your body, more minutes for you, and you want to break. As much as you want to say you want to play, now you want to break too. I think Spencer Dinwiddie, in the long scheme of the Nets' future, needs to stay around. But I'm not a front office guru, but I would definitely keep him in the fold and see how he comes back next year.
Yeah. Okay, anybody else want to pitch in?
Yeah, Spencer Dinwiddie is one of my favorite players with the Nets. I think he should, somehow stay on the Nets with, back up Kyrie. But, he's still a young player, so it can be difficult for his attitude to change in that mold. But I really like him. I really like him, and I'm hoping he will stay, with the Nets.
Agreed. Agreed. DC, what's your input?
Well, I agree with Kenny. You know, I'm sitting there and I'm watching it, and you do need that. You know, and when you're talking about, you know, putting this whole team, this nucleus together, you need that spark. You know, off the bench. You know, it kind of reminds me of a situation, you know, before he got hurt, like Vinnie Johnson used to come in for the Pistons. You know?
Microwave.
Yeah, you know, the microwave just come in, you know, so you always got to have guys that's going to come in and spark your team, either keep that lead to where it is or to even take it up, you know, even higher.
Agreed. I think he's still young. He was a starter for a little bit, and now he's got to obviously take the back seat to these other guys who have stepped in, and rightfully so. Let's be honest. But I think him coming off the bench, that's 6th man of the year, hands down, as far as I'm concerned. Like, how do you not take that, and you're on a team that's they're going to compete on a bad day? You know what I mean? So you're right, Kenny.
Like you said, I mean, man.
What?
Look, let's go back to Karis LeVert in the dome last year.
Yeah. In the bubble. Yes,
in the
sir.
bubble.
You're right, Mr. Coleman. He was cooking. He was cooking.
Yes, he was.
He was cooking.
Was putting on the show. So for him, with all the trades and everything that comes, and for him to take that back seat, you know, and still come off the bench and be the same Karis LeVert. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's big. That's
big. Then, shit, what y'all do? Y'all get rid of him. It's no way I would have got rid of Karis LeVert, man.
I agreed. We've had that discussion many times on this show.
I didn't want that either.
Yeah.
We didn't want them depleting.
Yeah,
well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It was great on his life. It was a life.
Yes.
You know, he got traded, and he went through all that with his heart and everything like that.
Yeah.
You know,
it ended up saving his life.
Kidney, it saved his life.
Yeah.
You know, so that's a blessing.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to see him go. I loved him.
Him or Allen, the big fella.
Oh man, it was tough. It was tough, yo.
Yeah. Because he brought energy. You know what I'm saying? When he came into the game, he brought energy, man. You know, and hey,
but do you?
I like when he was starting.
See, DC. Now, do you? I didn't want him to go, but you got Harding in the deal. Do you make that trade, or do you just say I'm not sure?
Well, I thought we had enough. To be honest with you, I thought with Kevin Durant, Kyrie, and Karis LeVert and Jared, we had enough. I don't know if we.
So you wouldn't have made that trade. You wouldn't.
I mean, I couldn't turn that down. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm looking at what Brooklyn is doing. You know, they're trying to win that right now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to win right now. So if you got that, table. Yeah, if you got that opportunity, okay. I have to make that trade. Did I like it? No. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just looking at what the young fella was doing in the bubble last year. He kept us in it.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Okay.
Hold on. Hey, Mr. Coleman, let me ask you a question because I'm gonna go back to something in your career. So you was a beast. You was a Ted at 6'10", on the block. You was the first big man that really was handling, was cooking, 15-footer, gave him work.
Yes.
And you could command pretty much anything when it came to that front office, and we know that's happening. Do you think what James Harden did to get to Brooklyn was the right way to do it? And do you appreciate your teammates in Houston? Throw the team under the bus?
No,
not going about.
So we don't come from that.
Okay, speak on that.
I'm never going to throw my teammates under the bus in a situation where if I'm really trying to get out of it, you know. And I really think, you know, at this day and age, those guys have way more opportunity than we had to speak on that, you know, because normally it was out of our hands. Yeah, we can sit here and talk about who we want. I'll give you the prime. I'll give you the prime story, right?
Go ahead.
So it's draft. It's draft time. 91.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting in the office, right, and they're asking me, who do I want to take in the draft, right? So mind you, I take Kenny Anderson out on his visit to Syracuse, right? So fast forward 3 years later, we're sitting there in the draft. So it's Kenny, it's Billy Owens, and it's Steve Smith.
Oh, wow.
Right. So my childhood friend who I grew up with in Detroit, Steve Smith, my teammate, Billy Owens, is Kenny. So I'm sitting there and I'm talking with Willis Reed, and he's like asking me about who do I take. I said, well, if we take, we need a 2 guard, so let's take Steve Smith.
Yeah.
You know, because we had Mookie Blaylock as the point guard.
Yeah.
I said, if you want a small forward, take Billy Owens. I said, either way, I don't lose. You know what I'm saying? Right. So the day of the draft, I'm sitting in the room with them, and they draft Kenny.
Wow. Wow.
So that's what I do, the politics in the sport, right? Mm-hmm. So fast forward the summer, I mean, Kenny comes, he have a party and everything, and I introduce him at the party, right? So fast forward to the summer, I come back to New Jersey in the summertime, and we had a concert in Westchester, New York. So I ride to the concert, me, Ed Lover, Todd, all the guys from Jersey, like, yo, we're going to see Salt and Pepper, and I think Janet Jackson was there, whatever, right to the concert. So when I go in the concert, I see Rod Strickland. So me and Strick chopping it up, you know what I'm saying? So he's like, Kenny in there. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm going to see Kenny. He coming up the hallway. First thing he says to me, yo, I heard you didn't want to draft me, yo.
Oh,
classic.
Like, what?
But
so me and him sat there the hallway for about 15, 20 minutes. I said, nah, man, it wasn't like that, man.
It was great, man. And when you're young, you think like this, but you think like it, but it was great playing with Derek Coleman, man. He's one of the best. He's one of the best. And this is, everybody get mad at me, but it's the true thing. He's the best big man I ever played with in my life. Life.
Thank you, bro.
The best. Because he could dribble, could shoot, could rebound, left, right hand. He does it all. And he's 6'9", 6'10". He was the best. He was the best, man. And I appreciate and I just, thank God that if Drazen Petrovic would have lived and we would have continued our street.
Talk about that.
I think about that.
We was beating on the door, bro.
Yes, we was.
We was beating on the door. They was respecting us, you know.
Hey, talk about that, you two, because here's the one thing I'm gonna say to y'all, right? And I'm gonna share this as a basketball fan. Y'all two, especially coming into the season before last, when they was talking about all the great duos, and they was talking about AD coming to LA to play with Bron.
Yeah.
They keep disrespecting y'all too and not considering y'all to be one of the best duos in NBA history. And I'm serious. Y'all get no understanding of how dominant y'all was in Jersey. And it was a short window, it was a short sample size, but nobody could defend y'all. That pick and roll was amazing. So talk about that real quick.
A prophet is never recognized in his own home, fam. You know? Bottom line. I mean, first of all, you got 2 guys that are left-handed. So that's the advantage.
That made it hard enough.
Yeah.
That's the advantage.
Great.
You know what I'm saying right there. What y'all don't realize, man, Kenny didn't even play his rookie year.
Right.
Bill Fitch wouldn't even let him play. Would put him in at scrub time and shit like that. I don't play rookies. So I'm like, I was just a rookie a year ago. What do you mean?
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So just him dealing with that. I mean, you're talking about Gatorade Player of the Year, Reed Smith Player of the Year. You know what I'm saying? This guy's accolades are endless.
All ACC.
That's what I'm saying. All that. Everything. From high school. You know, I always compare Kenny when I'm talking to people, man. I say, only person I compare Kenny Anderson with when you talk about New York, man, is Pearl Washington and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah.
Period. Period.
It's hella company to be in, man.
Mr. Coleman, thank you.
Come on. So when he gets there, I understand his frustration not being able to play, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this all my life, and you mean to tell me there's something wrong with me and I got to sit here and watch? And we getting our ass whooped?
at least let him come up and help you.
Right. So I'm running down
Let me play and learn. Let me play and learn and get with it. But I understood.
Yeah, man. And I'm like,
one of the reasons,
man, what the hell? So when you see in that film, you know, you really starting this question and think yourself like, y'all really want to win?
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? Like, are y'all really trying to win, or y'all just doing it to put the people in the stands? You know, so Chuck Daly enters the scene, man, and it all changes for us.
Yes.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Coach comes, man, and like, fuck that. Kenny, you start. You know what I mean? And our grind began right then. You know, Draws get traded there from Portland. You got to think he's in Portland. He can't get on the floor because you got Percy, Clyde Drexler, Porter. You know, they deep.
They
you
deep.
know? So
Duckworth, Buck Williams, they deep.
Man, so he can't get on the floor out there in Portland. But again, this guy's a god.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Overseas,
He's a god. So now I got two guys on the floor with me that got chips on their shoulders as well. You know what I'm saying? Because they're like, yo, we got a year I got to catch up on this year that I just set out. So I got something to prove to everybody that we really belong. And that what took us off, man. We started off just from that and roll. Like I say, we started, hey, man. Here we are, we coming. You know, so it was great, man. And just the passing of Draws, man, really just
messed up everything. Messed up everything. Though I believe the whole organization kind of messed up everything.
Messed up everything. But see, then they didn't re-sign Chuck Daly either.
Yes.
You know, Chuck left and went to Orlando.
Yes.
So we took 20 steps backwards.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then we were still, you know, competing.
Competing.
And then they trade Kenny.
It started unraveling it.
So I'm sitting here like, well, goddamn. I'm like this on the island by myself. All over again. You know? So no, man, you know, I think about that all the time with Draws and man and me, him and Kenny, man. And you know, we led the league that year in rebounding and everything. Then we start, you know, going to the playoffs, being consistent with playing Cleveland.
Cleveland.
So crazy. We played Cleveland.
This one thing, man. I wasn't playing. I was sitting when we played my rookie year. We played Cleveland in the playoffs. He Derek Coleman rocked Larry Nance that whole playoff series. Yo, I was like, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. Larry Nance, Doherty, nobody could not check him. Nobody. We took them to 5 games. We took them to 5 games.
Right. And Draws out there like,
and those ain't no slouches.
No, not at all.
No, yo, Derek Coleman killed a whole front line.
Almost averaged a triple-double that whole series.
They couldn't do nothing with you, man.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace, Hot Rod. Rest in peace to Hot Rod.
We were there, man. You know what I'm saying? And just, you know, the accident with Draws and not the re-signing the Chuck. Like I said, we took so many steps, you know, backwards, man.
Well, on the flip side, at least the organization, although they're no longer in New Jersey, has made some strides and they're starting to look up for a change. And to get back into this, now they're looking for a big man all over again. DC, you might want to they done traded everybody away, and now all of a sudden they out there looking for a big man again. And one of the names on the bill is JaVale McGee, which makes no sense to me because you sent Jared Allen out there, and now you're looking to get somebody else from there, which doesn't make any sense. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. They did it for Harden, which I get. And in hindsight, I was against it. In hindsight, it looks good, but we'll see how it all pans out. They'd like to acquire him, but he's also garnering a lot of interest from some contenders like the Lakers, the Celtics, the Raptors. Doesn't make sense. Again, he just left the Lakers. But anyway, should the Nets enter this sweepstakes or should they look elsewhere or just say, you know what, it's working with what we got. Let's just do it.
Well, like I said, for me, I feel like they have enough in what they're doing, you know. And I mean, if you can get JaVale McGee, okay, he's going to give you 10, 15 good minutes. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, really just to block shots, you know, and rebound. You know,
energy.
That was always one of the things that we're lacking because of the scores that we have. We still need somebody to do that dirty work. You know, we need somebody to rebound, clog that middle up, man. You know.
I feel we're good right now because we picked up our defensive intensity. We're playing better defensively. So just roll with it. Just roll with it. You know, and Kyrie, Kevin Durant, they're not playing as much because we're trying to hold on to them for the long haul. So
see, that's
Harding is playing extremely well, and the bench is playing well. Everybody is contributing. So I think we're in the right state of mind right now. I think.
I want to touch on that real quick, Coach, because the last game against the Pacers, we got to see Karis LeVert play against his old team, and welcome back to him. He had a heck of a game, 19 points in his minutes. But that got overshadowed real quick by Harden's triple-double, and what a triple-double it was. 40, 10, and 15, right?
Wow.
And what I was most amazed about in watching that game personally, and we've got to see a lot of Harden lately, was how well he is in getting everybody involved. Of the 9 guys that touched the floor that night because it was so undermanned, 7 of them were in double figures. Like, that's crazy. How often do you see that? You know what I mean? And then add to that, he only had 2 turnovers. So we talked about this before. He's not really being mentioned in this MVP race. Like, what is up with that? And how is that even possible that he's keeping this team afloat minus KD? And we also didn't have Irvin play last game, but he's still managing to do these things. Somebody has to.
Just real quick, I really think if they take the number 1 position the whole year, he has to get MVP. He has to get MVP. And I know Joel Embiid is there, and the kid from Milwaukee is playing extremely well.
Nice.
There's some guys that's running. LeBron is doing well, but if the Brooklyn Nets keep that first throughout the league, Harden has to be there, man. I really believe that. Come on.
Agreed. Even if he doesn't win it, which I think, if season ends today, I think he absolutely should be in the running. But even if he doesn't get it, I don't even hear him mentioned, which is crazy to me.
East Coast don't get no respect, man. You know that.
I mean, we look at it like they were all talking about LeBron early in the season. With due credit, he was definitely doing his thing. But once AD went down, they lost 4 in a row. They've been kind of off and on. You take a little notch down from that. I mean, that's just the way it goes. Same thing with Embiid. Sixers were doing well. He's hurt now. You got to give it to somebody. Look elsewhere. Giannis has played well lately. Like I think he had 3 triple doubles in a row.
Yes, Giannis played extremely well.
Yeah, but at this point, we've seen him for the last 2 years he's going to have to outdo himself, which is not going to really happen. Right. Why are we not talking about Harden? That's crazy.
Well, you think about the politics of the game of basketball as well. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are still just caught up on the issues of even making the trade there, You know what I'm saying? All that's still in the back. They just not basing it on how he's playing the game of basketball, man. Yeah. There's always some shit in the game, and no matter what we do, bro. Yeah. Real talk. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's why they're not talking about, like I said, it's just no respect,
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
Nets are tied for first place in the conference. Do they stay there and separate each other? Start getting some separation, or does this stay a tight race? Anybody?
I mean, I think it's still a tight race.
Yes.
Until we can get everybody back healthy, you see that separation. I think in order for us to actually really come out of the East, it's going through Philly. And I said that already. I said, that's going to be our challenge, with Philadelphia. Because I think Doc is, got those guys motivated and playing well, So that's going to be the go-through for us to make it, to the chip.
Okay.
Let me ask a question, fellas. Do y'all ever think and sit back? And I know they did a documentary we talked about Portland with the late, great Drazen Petrovic, and they did a documentary on Rip City with that whole Clyde and Terry Porter thing. But let me ask y'all this question. Do y'all ever think about the relevancy that y'all have with the New Jersey/Brooklyn franchise? Because let me say this and put this on your spirit for a second. Mm-hmm. Before it was y'all, there was Doc and out there in Long Island, all right, Nassau Coliseum. Mm-hmm. Nassau Coliseum was constructed in 1972. The first game was in February, and they played against the Pittsburgh Condors, and they won 129 to 121. Nothing happens from that point on until you two arrive. Literally.
Yeah.
From y'all, we see Steph took over for a while. Mm-hmm. And it was Kenyon Martin, Jason Kidd, Kerry Kittles, Keith Van Horn, Vince Carter, Richard Jefferson. Yeah. And now we here in Brooklyn.
Kimbe.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, Kimbe was there too. I don't forget about Deke. I don't forget about that's my man Deke.
Yeah.
But do y'all really ever step back and be like, I really transformed the whole franchise? Y'all together transformed the whole franchise. And let me say this, because it has to be relevant enough, because This year they chose to do throwback uniforms with y'all New Jersey Net blue. So just I'm curious to see how y'all feel about that.
Go ahead, D. I'll let you start it out.
I mean, I've always felt that way. You know, just what you're saying. Again, just what we were talking about earlier, man, respect. You know, because they hadn't been nowhere since Doc. You know what I'm saying? And when me and Kenny got there, we turned that whole, you know, franchise around.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, we've never got any respect, you know, for that being in, you know, in the playoffs. You know, you every now and then you'll hear him say something, you know what I'm saying, about it, but you know, other than that, it's crazy. Even when we went to Brooklyn, you know, I'm just sitting there in the hallway like, damn, Kenny, they got about 2 pictures of us in the middle, you know, hanging on the walls. And
we got a petition to get y'all up there, man.
You feel me? Like, hey,
that's crazy.
You know, so nah,
crazy.
bro. I look at it that way all the time. I don't have to say it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, I know what me and Kenny and Drive represented in Jersey. You know, and I've always looked at it this way as well. You know, think about the time in the era. Like I tell people, I'm so proud of the era that I grew up in. You know, Syracuse, New York. You know, coming to Jersey, golden age of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? No cell phones, none of that social media stuff that we see right now. We first generation of video games, you feel me? All that. But think about New York at the time, right?
Right.
Patrick Ewing, right? Darryl Strawberry and Doc Gooden, and Derek and Kenny Anderson. That was it.
That was it.
Think about that.
That was it. That was
it.
big.
Yes, exactly. Giants just, I mean, I'm sorry, LT, the Giants had just won
LT.
You know what I'm saying? Him, Pepper Johnson, my man Carl Banks, you know. But bro, that was it.
That was it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Y'all need y'all props, man. Like, we definitely got a petition to get y'all up there, man. That's good. Anyway, we're gonna rock on.
How you feel about that, Coach? Hold on, Kevin. How you feel about that, Coach?
I feel the same way, Derek. You know, just everything he mentioned was just, you know, so much to the game. You know, the New Jersey Nets organization. You know, this guy Derek Coleman he was a great, and it's strange because we became more friends after basketball. Yeah. You know, and that's what you know, that's what counts the most. You know. Mm-hmm. You know, and we got so many stories about our New Jersey Nets games and practice. We got so many stories. We can't talk about them on here, but it's just so much, man.
Right. Right.
And now we're
look, just our teammates alone.
we're older and we got families. It's a lot different, man. But you know, it was great playing with DC, playing, you know, under Willis Reed was the GM, and just the whole the Nets. It was just great, man. It was great being a New Jersey Net.
Yeah, it was great times.
I got one more question for y'all. Do y'all think in history, barring injury, that Sam Bowie gets an unfair knock?
You go ahead.
No question. Yeah.
No question. Easy. No question.
Yeah.
If he was healthy, he'd be one of the top bigs that ever played the game. Because he could shoot the ball extremely well. Right. Extremely well.
Yes.
Rebounding, assists. He saw the court very well. He did everything. He was just a great player. But that injury just hurt him. Yeah. But him coming with the Nets rejuvenated himself. Yeah. He saw, I think he had to see if he could still play on his leg.
Yeah. Oh,
and he came with the Nets and he played extremely well.
And I'm sure that still, you know, mess with him the whole time that he was playing, you know. Yeah. But that's what Kenny said, man. Sam can really step, you know, shoot the basketball. Wow. You know, he's like one of them big guys, that 15, 20 footer, he'll knock that down. He'll knock that down before he get down there on that block.
Hey, anyone bang too much.
Mr. Coleman, how much child support do you got to pay for all the kids you got in the league? You got Zach Randolph, you got Hollis, you got I had another one too. That just mirrored your game. Who in the league right now?
I didn't even say Boogie.
Yeah, Boogie Cousins is
my man. Hey, Mobile, Alabama, bro. That's where I'm from.
Yeah, there's a
You know
lot.
what I'm saying?
We got a lot of sons in the league.
When people ask me that, that's the first, name that comes to mind. Hey man, Boogie, because he got that boogie.
Mhm.
He'll trade bag you, he'll bag you down, post you, he'll hit you with the in between.
Yes.
And he might slap the shit out you too.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank our great listeners.
Oh man, it's getting too good. You done already?
Oh man, nah, Mr. Coleman, but I do want to say this, and I don't think we are about giving our flowers, and I want you to talk about this, and we're gonna get serious for a second. You're from the Michigan area, Flint, Detroit, that whole thing.
Yes.
You, and I don't think people understand because I like to do my research.
Yes,
I want to
sir.
say thank you and God bless you for all of the tireless efforts that you've done. You've taken truckloads of water, food, supplies. You've helped to dedicate yourself to your community. Talk about that right now to our viewers. Share what you can about Flint, how people can help and support. But once again, I want to say thank you. But what's that been like for you to give back to the crib and help out back there?
Well, the thing is, man, when you raised that way, it's in my DNA and who I am. I've been raised that way my whole life to help my people, regardless. So it's nothing new for me. The only reason for me, I would say the problem would be is that, see, I don't do it for the media.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I've always done it out of the kindness of my heart because that's just the way I was raised. My uncle used to share that with me all the time. You do what you do out of the kindness of your heart. That's where your blessings come from.
Yeah.
So you don't need the media coverage to do it, from building playgrounds in my neighborhood where I grew up at, to strip malls. And we got All-Star Give Back, which we've been doing for the past 22 years, during the Thanksgiving holidays, where we give away 75,000 to 10,000 turkeys with all the trimmings for the community in the neighborhood.
Great.
Taking water and stuff, like that to Flint, because again, when I look at it, those are my people too. So the relationship, again, man, what you understand that basketball, people don't understand us and what that basketball means to us. I cannot talk to Kenny for a whole year, right?
Yeah.
And I talked to him today, it's just like I just talked to him yesterday. The relationship. So with Mateen Cleves and Mo Peterson, all those guys up there at Flint, taking them water up there, for those people, man, and getting them engaged and everything that's going on, man. But it's in us. It's in all of us.
Yeah.
We come from that.
Right.
When I see those people, I see myself, because I was that person. So I could never forget that. Yeah, never, man.
Absolutely. Well, like I said, we thank you for all your efforts and all that you do. We really do appreciate
you.
And let me ask you this: if somebody, a random viewer, want to support the efforts, is some way they can get in contact with you? Or there's something like a website or something they can do?
Well, you can get my website is DerekColemanElite.com, which I started, summer league here because I seen our talent level declining here in the state. So I wanted to get back involved in that. So I created my own summer league where we play Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. I have over 60 teams that participate in my summer league, and we're right on the board of Canada. So I even have teams come from Canada, to play. But in doing that, we have a nutrition program, for the kids to feed them and everything, man. Then we have all the guys that are from the state of Michigan really come to the games and mentor kids, like to have those conversations like we're having right now, to be able to sit there and like, hey, man, you need to work on such and such. And, in your game, if you're looking to go to the next level, which for me, the next level is always college.
Yeah.
Just trying to build, what we had growing up here in the city of Detroit with our kids, man. So it's great. My mom says to me all the time, why do I run away from the thing that I love the most? And I say, Ma, I'm not running. It's just so much other stuff I want to do.
Yeah.
I never in life when they stereotype us, as being just basketball, man, we're so much more. That window of basketball, that opportunity is real little, man. We're so much more. And they don't know how to accept that, so that's why we do what we do. Kenny's coaching, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All our guys that are commentating, like, man, we can do all that stuff. I can sit here, we can talk about basketball, bro, till the motherfucking sun come up.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Right off the top of my head, because, we've been doing it all our life, but we're so much more, man.
Yep.
Understood.
So much.
I got a question for you too, Mr. Coleman. In terms of Detroit, in terms of the D, how vital and instrumental is basketball to the fabric of the city and fabric to the state? Because I say this because, you know, it's been some lean years in Detroit for quite some time. I since the early 2000s with Big Shot and Tayshaun and Big Ben and all those guys, Sheed and those team and Rip. So talk about how instrumental basketball is just to the D and in the state of Michigan itself.
Well, when you talk about just the state of Michigan, when you're saying basketball, even my year getting drafted in 1990, it was 6 guys from Michigan that went first round in the draft. It's so crazy. I was looking at my draft picture the other day where I'm taking a picture with David Stern, right? But on the screen behind me is Willie Burton getting drafted right behind me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So our tradition here is so rich, and what we're doing, the Pistons, finally, they moved downtown Detroit now. But, you know, they're struggling right now. You know, they're in the rebuilding process. So when you see that, it's just like, yo, you have to really get out into the community and the neighborhood and engage in what's going on in that era. And I was just talking to Chris Webber the other day. So we're even really looking at talking about doing this documentary on St. Cecilia, where all of us grew up playing at.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, Kenny and them always talking that Rucker Park shit, man. And I'm like, yo, y'all can't compete with us, man.
We got so many parks, man. It's crazy. I'm from New York, baby. You know it. You don't want to start that.
I told you what my 3. Okay, I'm gonna give you Pearl, Kareem, and Doc.
Okay.
You know what? I take that back. 5. Connie Hawkins.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He was nice. Okay.
Yes, exactly. But other than that, y'all can shut that shit down.
I'll give you a New Yorker that never even made it, and everybody know. And when we talk about it, Earl the Gold, Man of Gold.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. So think about that. How many of them that we know?
Right.
We don't even got, you know what I'm saying, those opportunities, man. So we know we stand on the shoulders of all those guys, fam.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, listen, Mr. Coleman, we thank you so much, man. And listen, we hope sometime in the near future you can come back on. Coach, thank you for giving us the opportunity to sit down with Mr. Coleman this evening, and he give us his basketball
That's my brother, man. You know, he called me and was like, yo, you know, well, okay, when and where? I'm on.
I appreciate it.
Great. He did a great job. Great job.
And let me say this right here to the Brooklyn Nets organization. It's robbery that they not in the rafters. And I don't care what color the jersey is, straight up and down. They got to be in the rafters, man. Don't play with it. People watch this. So let's be clear. They need to be in the rafters. That organization that y'all stand on is nothing without those 2 individuals right there. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap. Thank y'all so much for tuning into your Tie Empire. I'm your guy, TJ, Kev P, Coach Kenny Anderson, and our special guest, Mr. Derek Coleman. Until next time, we'll catch you later. Take care.